Hi, I'm Dan, and this is Daniel's Trains. I just wanted to share a little bit of something with you. I seen a video the other day where a fellow is making pine trees out of not a sisal, I think, not jute, twine. And I obviously picked this up at Amazon, and it was relatively affordable for 2 rolls. This is what I got, 2 rolls of this. Okay, and so what I'm started to do here is I laid out a sample on the table upstairs, and I started cutting lengths out about 3 inches long. Now, my goal here is try to copy what that fella had done. They says once, now I don't know how they're doing it, because if I cut this the length I need it and I just give it a twist, one of the ends pop apart like that there, and I'll separate those two and I end up with this. Okay? So I take these and I stick them on the side because they go in a different pile, because these here I haven't done them to yet. So while I was upstairs doing this, I was using one as a sample, pulling the string out and cutting it. Now I don't know if this is the best way to do this, because you are going to take these. Okay, so I'm going to come in like this. Oh, let me move this. I'm this-handed, okay? Try to make it as easy on me as possible, myself. So I'll put that down on a line there. I'm going to grab these scissors and I'm going to cut that off and over there. I'm going to come back and do this again. And I'll just keep on doing that. Now, I don't know how many of these I'm going to need to actually make a tree. Because if you take the product, I think it's called sisal, it's a lot thicker, and when you cut it, it breaks down really, really easy, and you get a lot of pieces out of that one cut. Where using this product, not so much. So I'll probably end up doing this about 1,000 times just to get enough of them to produce a tree. Now, I'm dealing in N scale, so I don't think my trees have to be any taller than 3 inches. That's the ballpark I'm playing in here. So I figured if I make these 3 inches wide, after I put them in the steel wrapper and twist them with my drill and vice grip, which I will show in a different video, because I think I'll be doing this for a while. Now, I didn't plan to make a video tonight, but I'm upstairs cutting this stuff down, and I'm thinking I should be taking video with this with my iPad, because it's like I say, it's something instead of nothing, right? And who knows, I might give somebody an idea on how to go about this differently, because I haven't seen anyone use material this thin or cut it like this. There was one fella that was making a couple of trees, and he used a razor blade with a safety edge on it. I got a ton of them upstairs. Again, I buy them by the 100 through Amazon because I can't find them anywhere else. And I've had the ones I've had for a long time. My number 11 X-Acto blades, same thing. Amazon, 100, $12, $13. And I've had the ones I had now for so long, they're starting to rust, because I wasn't watching how I was storing them. Still good, just don't look so pretty. So I'll be doing this for a while. Now, here is a wire. This is steel wire. It's been coated, not supposed to rust, but in my case, I don't know if that matters because this will be spray painted and static grass and fine flock mixed together, which is what I think they're doing. So I'm going to make this first for my first few attempts. I'm going to cut this about 8 inches long and fold it in half, put a loop here so I can put a little hooky thing in my drill. That's right, I said hooky thing. And I'll use a pair of vice grip to hold the ends closed while I line all these up on the wire and then twist them, and it produces a tree which after it's done, or you've done a bunch of them, you take your scissors and trim them down to the shape you want them. It looks like it works, guys. There are a lot, the ones I'm seeing the fellows on YouTube do look a lot better than the ones I have on my layout. And it's taken time for me to purchase more track so I can loop back. As you can see, I only have track here. This is brand new here. I put that in the other day on my other video. I decided to use the Flex Track because it's cheaper than using the Kato system. It's a little more work to lay it down. The underlayment, the cork, was $2 a length, so I thought that was reasonable. It was quick and it was cheaper, and it's down pretty solid, you know. It is pretty solid. It ain't going nowhere. So that's pretty cool. So after you've cut several hundreds of these, because like I say, I don't know how many it's going to take to make one tree, doing it this way. Now I have a roll somewhere of, what do they call it? Thistle. It's green also by coincidence. Now if I can find it, I'll also try to make trees out of that also. And if it works, great, because I can use a lot of trees on this layout, because I really don't want to put a lot of buildings like I mentioned because of the cost. This scenery stuff obviously is cheaper than buying a model of a building or something. Not that I'm saying I'm not going to buy anymore. That one I have in the background here came out really nice. I like it. I ran a track into it, and there's a switch down there, and I think it gives me a purpose. And that's, if you're not going to run, what do they call that? If you're not going to run an organized session, you see, I'm just going to put them in here. See, these ones are the ones I pulled apart. They're scraggly, so I'm getting them mixed up now. Not good, not good. Okay, so I do a bunch like this, and I just stick them back in the box, nice and neat, like that. I don't know how many I have in there, but when I get them all twisted and undone, they'll look like this. And I'm going to line them up on that wire, like this. And I'm going to twist them with a drill. So we're not looking at a lot of money here. I think I spent $15 here. So I'm hoping to take that $15 and turn it into a lot of trees. Now, I don't know how stiff the wire is supposed to be, but 20 gauge is 20 gauge. I was afraid to go with copper, because you twist copper, it'll break. And it's a little flimsy. This, after twisting, it's going to be good and stiff. And after it's flocked, spray painted and flocked, I'm hoping it's going to look really good. So I'm trying to do different things here, because I can't always go out every weekend and buy track and scenery and houses, because, you know, and it's not, I don't think it's meant to be done all at once anyway. But the Flex Track has seriously saved me a lot of time and effort, and there's less joints in the Flex Track than there is in the Kato sections. I like the Kato stuff. It's easy to put together. This here Flex Track, I think I worked on it for about 2.5 hours to get it straight. And then I was putting it into 2 points, a Kato down there and a Kato down there. And I had to cut it precisely so I wouldn't get a gap at one end or the other. So I succeeded. You know, everybody would like to have things done quick because they can start using their layout and taking pictures and stuff. But the way I'm going about it here, this is a poor man's way of doing it. I have a budget, if you want to call it that, and I want to do this. The Digitrack system ran me $800. That was a big hit. That's right, income tax return. You got it. My wife's eyebrow went up when we were in the shop and I wanted to purchase it. They explained it to me. I liked it. I like the hands-free business. And this one I picked up is remote, so I can carry the remote with me and operate my train at the same time. The freedom was just, well, I couldn't go without it. I had to try it. So I'm really happy with it. The train I picked up, whether they call it a DC-70 CAU, or it's also, I had a chip put into it. So it's obviously remote control. It has the bell, engine sounds. It even makes a sound as if the cars are being pulled behind it, a clinking noise. That was pretty cool. Because when I was running it, I was going through the sounds, and the bell is obvious, the horn is obvious, the locomotive starts up, then rolls. That was pretty cool. And then I hit 4, I think, and then all of a sudden I get a chicka chicka noise, and I'm listening to it going, now what the heck is that? Until I realized it was mimicking the noise of cars being pulled tight as it leaves from a dead stop. And I thought that was just so awesome. Yeah, that set me back $400. Not the chip, the whole train. But it looks like that's the going rate. It's about $300 for a DC ready locomotive, and then you drop a chip in for about $140 if you go with sound. So next time I get one, I don't know if I need to get them sound all the time. Sound is an extra $40. The guy puts in a high quality speaker compared to regular, whatever that means. And it sounds great. Now, next time I get back to the shop, I'm going to ask him how in heck you turn around and reduce the sound on it. Because when my locomotive starts up, it's a little loud. I'd like it a little quieter, if possible. So I'll have to ask him, I'll have to bring the handheld unit in with my loco, and they'll probably put it on his track and show me how you reduce the sound. Because when I was in the shop listening to it on their track, an older gentleman looked at me and said, well, you can reduce the sound. We didn't get into it, but I clearly remember him saying that. So there's still fine adjustments I have to do. I also have to learn how to start the train. Every time I shut the whole system down and I go back in to start it, I have to play around with it because I'm not getting the sequence right. Because when I was in the hobby shop, he took it and he had it programmed on his remote, and he took like 3 seconds to start the train up, no problem. So every time I pick it up, I'm fighting to figure out the sequence to just start the train. I do get it after a while of poking around with it, but it isn't as if I just pick it up and I go click, 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 and boom, it makes a noise. And, well, the other day, you may have caught my other video or not, I was testing to see how many locomotives that locomotive can pull on the flat. And I think 15 is more than enough cars if you want to load up your train with cars. On the flat was about 15. I had it up to 26. It started to spin, so I stopped it and took some cars off until it actually was able to move forward. So I came up with that number. And I can imagine going around curves, it's going to be putting even more load on that train. So I'm still playing with it. It's all brand new to me. I like it. I also pick up rolling stock down there for $5 a car. They're in pristine condition with the old style knuckles on them, which I recently learned if you take the new style off of a newer model and switch it with the older model, you can actually pull your old model cars with the new locomotive. You know, such a simple thing, and I never thought about it. Yeah, that's right. I saw that on YouTube. Something to do with don't change all your knuckles, do this. And then, of course, they hook you to go in to listen to it. I'm glad I did, because now I can pull all my rolling stock regardless what it is. Now, I notice also, if I may say, some of my rolling stock do have the newer knuckles on them. So what I'm doing now is, and I'm getting them for around the same price. Sometimes they're $10 each for the newer knuckle styles, which I'm assuming it's a newer model rolling car. And I don't mind paying $10 for a pristine boxcar. Now, the only trouble with doing it the way I'm doing it is that I think, I'm going to guess 30 cars now of all types, Canadian, American, railroads. I don't have any, well, I have three different models that I have 2 cars each that are the same. Everything else is different. So for me right now, it's not important to have 15 coal cars, you know, or 15 hoppers all looking the same. It's impressive, but the way I'm buying them, it's not going to happen for a while unless I go in and I see them there and they happen to be the same car. Oh, you know what? I'd like to show you something. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go down there and get it. I have to show you this. Okay, I don't want to change the subject, but I got to show you this. Now, you see this car here? Of course, it's old style, the hook there, the knuckle. Now look at the coal load. Do you see the coal load in there? It's bumpy, it's picky. It looks like real coal, right? And the car is great shape, nothing wrong with the car, hasn't been weathered or anything. But look at that coal load. Now, here's another car. It's in pretty good shape too. I've had this one for over 30 years, maybe 25. See the detailing on the end here? Still molded, just like this one is. See how it's molded in there? Not bad shape for an old car, but look at this. This is what you pay for. Look at the coal load. This looks like coal. This one looks like a plastic, imitating coal. This is the difference in quality when you pay more for a car. See that? Trying to get the light on it. Look at that. That's the difference. I like this black one. See that? Chunky. It's rough. This one is just plastic. So I think that's the difference in quality when you buy one that's expensive and one that's not as expensive. And this one here, unfortunately, comes with plastic wheels, where this one comes with steel wheels. You see that? Black plastic wheels. I don't know if the plastic is better than the steel or not. So here you got a car that's decent, but the coal load is questionable. And here you got a little guy, he's looking good. The coal is excellent, but the wheels are plastic. I'm not going to change those out. I'm going to keep them that way until I have a reason to. Now this thing is, an ounce and a half. It has half decent weight to it. Like you can feel it's heavy. It's not light. Where this one here, I bet you if you weighed these two, they'd be almost the same. This is light. This one is not. I just thought I'd share that with you, in case you, you're a type of person that goes, well, I would never pay $50 for a rolling stock, or 45 or 35. And I hate to say it, but if you go to Amazon, and I'm sure they got a markup more than the hobby shop does, but that's what they're selling for some of these. And I don't know how they're selling at that price. But, I'm just a cheap old flogger. And when I saw that little tray in the corner of this guy's shop, and I couldn't believe there were $5 and $10 each. And I'm looking at these going, I have to have some. So every time I go in there, I get 5, 8 pieces at a time. If they're $5, I'll get 8, 9. If they're $10, I might get 4. And I just keep on adding them to my collection of rolling stock. Because I'll have a lot of room on this layout, these 12 modules I have, to keep cars in different places. Now, this car here, I don't care if it's American or Canadian. I'd love to have a bunch of these all the same. That would be wicked. But that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to have to be happy with what I've got. But I'm certainly going to keep my eyes out for more of these on that tray. I like the size. I like the detail. And that coal load just blows my mind. I would have certainly loved to know what that car was selling for brand new. Now, I have no idea when they brought out the new knuckle style. I'll show you here. So here's one style here. See that? And check this out. That's a different style altogether. See that? Now I'm running, okay, and then of course I just showed you this style. So already I've got 3 different styles of knuckles. Now I'm running Kato, and they said you can change out the knuckles on the Kato locomotive for, I forget the company, KD or somebody. You can change them out to pull either this standard of knuckle. Oh, geez, hey, where is it? That or this one. I'm not too sure which one, but it's I got to switch the one out that comes with my Kato diesel because it just barely grabs onto these cars. So if I'm taking a corner with the diesel and I got a bunch of cars on, 12 cars, guaranteed if I hit a bump, it lets go. So I end up with a bunch of cars back there somewhere. And it doesn't fail. And I was getting a little crazy over that last week until I stopped and took a look at what was going on. So you got to try to keep all your knuckles the same. But it doesn't help when you've got a Chinese-made product, which is excellent, and they doesn't comply with North American railroad stock and their style of knuckle. But I guess you can't ask for everything. But the fix is easy. I have some on order. Hopefully they'll come in within a reasonable amount of time. They're really easy to switch out. I've been watching YouTube like crazy. This one fella shows you exactly how to do it. And there's a little copper or brass plate in the back. You pop it out and everything falls out. Shove the new one in there and put the retainer plate back on. And it took him like seconds to do it. You know, once he had the shell off. So at least that's an easy fix. That I can do. Electronics I will not touch. I guarantee if I touch electronics, something's going to go wrong. Wiring this track was enough, and that's just dropping leads down, you know, every 3 or 4 feet. Actually, I went nuts on my layout behind me here, and I put one in. I put a lead off of every section of Kato track, which you don't really need to do. So I stopped doing that, and I go about every 3 feet now. A lot less wire, a lot less wiring, and it just makes life a lot easier. Now, mind you, the other day, I made it down to the other end of my module, which is 27 feet, and I was happy about that, and I got it to go across the 8-foot span at the other end, and I ran out of track, because that's where it ends. But the power actually made it all the way down, and I was just trying it for fun to see if it would, and every once in a while, coming back, it would stall, unless I tapped it, and I assumed it was because there was just not enough power to kickstart the locomotive. I also notice if you don't have enough power going through your track, if you got a bunch of cars and you go to start it or back up, it hesitates unless you give it a little push. And that's not really what you want to get in the habit of doing, because that's no fun. So I've reduced the amount of cars I'll be pulling at one time, which is fine, unless I pick up another locomotive and match speed them. But what's the use of, you know, it's a home layout. Why do I want to pull 30 cars, 40 cars for? It's not for that. It's so I can lay out little guys like this here and do stuff around it and then drop cars off and then leave. I got one of those magnet in the tracks in front of it. I'm going to have to get used to using it because there's a certain way you do it. I back up over it. I pull the car forward. I back up over it. I let's go. I move forward. I go to back up to pick it up again. It hooks up. But it's not doing it exactly when I want it to do it. So I think there's a technique of rolling over that magnet in the track to release it. And I think it's back, forth, back. And when you leave, it leaves the car behind. You got to play with it a bit. But it is possible to operate it with hands off, which is what you're trying to do here. You know? The N-scale cars have to be attached and detached with a stick to get into the mechanism if you're in the middle of nowhere, which is fine. I don't mind that. The Kato switches. I like the Kato switches, but some of the lighter cars do not like going over them without derailing. I'm working with that too, so it's. I hope it's not going to be a problem, because the worst thing in the world is run your cars down the track, go over a switch, and start hearing a whole bunch of ticking noise, which obviously means that the cars come off the track. I don't know if the wheels have anything to do with it, in this case with the Kato track, the steel or the plastic. Maybe the speed I was going at, they didn't like it, and so they jumped off the track. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to cut these down here until this roll's gone. But no, you will not have to sit here and watch me do the whole thing, because that'd be really boring. I have 3 subscribers. I would like to thank those of you that subscribe to my channel. It actually makes me feel really good because, it sort of lets me know that there is some interest out there, because, it's not the easiest thing to do a video, and I can't edit stuff, so I don't. So I'm about to hit my 30-minute mark here, and I think that's long enough if I've chatted about what I am chatting about. So this is Dan with Dano's Trains. Until I come back to make some trees, we'll see you later. And thank you very much to my subscribers, and please like.